Hello. Hello and welcome to this second video on Python programming. So this is again a re-recording of the old video which I did how to install Python on Windows. Since that was very old and things have changed, so I will probably add something extra and let's get started with the video. So there are quite a few ways you can use Python on Windows. So if you are going to use pure Windows, which is typically the development work if you do on Windows, and you don't intend to run it on Linux at all. So what you can do is you can go to www.python.org, go to downloads, go to Windows, and you click Python install manager. And for convenience, I have already downloaded it. It is Python Manager 26.1.msix. So after download, you just click it and it will say, it will give you a fair bit of warning, and I have already installed it. So what I will do is, for the sake of the video, that I will reinstall it. And let's reinstall it so that you can see. So, okay, I think I'll have to show you the whole thing. So let me uninstall it, okay? I will uninstall it and then I will install it again. So let me uninstall it quickly. So it is uninstalled now. Okay. So it is uninstalled and we run this again. So again the same warning, and then it will say reinstall Python and say install. Okay, it didn't ask again. Okay, so it's very simple. You just follow it. Okay. And choose read the option description and then it will be installed. Make sure you add it to path and all that. Sorry about that. For some reason, it's not giving the installation screen again, even though I after even after uninstalling. Once it is installed, you can say Python on your command prompt, and you will have the Python 3. Okay. For some reason, it is not working. Let me check. Okay. So if you are on Windows, you can go to your C drive, not Windows, users and your account, and then app data is where it should be. So let's uh, how do we see hidden files? Show compactly hidden items. Okay. So go to app data and then you go to local and there should be a Python folder. Okay, so Python folder bin. Okay, it is not here. So for some reason, the installation is not coming up. Let's go to control panel quickly and see if it is there. So it should be there. It is not coming here. Okay, for some reason, it's not coming here. So it is not reinstalling. Seems like there's a bug with the installer. Oops. So what we do is, let's do another path. You can follow this, it works, but for some reason, it's giving problem. So what we can do instead is, let's go to Python 3.14.4. This is the release. And we will not use install manager, we will simply use Windows installer. So it should be downloaded in a bit. And there you go. So we run this. It's a different installer and we say install now. That's it. No need to customize and all. It will install everything, the default installation. So it should be done in a bit. I hope that it sets path and all. By default, it should set path. So path is the list of directories where it will look for binaries, or Windows looks for binaries. So if path is configured by the installer, then it should come here. So we simply say Python and it goes to Python install manager. Okay. For some reason, the Python install manager is getting this. So we say get here. For some reason, it is getting there, and simply say Python install manager just got installed, and we say click to open. Okay, now it is giving the installation. So if you run Python install manager, this screen comes. So you can modify app execution areas. So open settings now. No, we don't want to open settings. Open install apps now. No. Install C Python. So this should be yes. And this will install 3.14. And we want to visit help. No. Now we need to restart the shell and our Python should be working. So either path you choose should give you Python. Okay, so for some reason it is doing that. We call open. Okay. If some reason it is giving trouble. Okay, it has opened the installer. So if we say py.exe, okay, py.exe. So the shortcut is py.exe. It's not Python. Python goes to install manager, so it has changed a bit. So gave a bit of trouble. So you run py.exe and your Python interpreter is here. We can verify 2 plus 2 4. Print hello world, and there you go. Hello world is there. So this is if you want to work on pure Windows, okay? But what happens in professional environment is that most of the server side stuff, if you work in web development or if you work in AI, the production machines runs on Linux. They don't run on Windows. So how do we get this done on Linux? So there are two ways. One is you run Linux inside Windows using Windows Subsystems for Linux or WSL. So to install WSL, what you can do is you can go to learn.microsoft.com/em-us/windows/WSL/install. So you follow this documentation and do WSL install and all. So I have Arch Linux installed, but for you, what I will do is I will show you how to do it. So first thing is WSL minus minus install. So okay, it starts downloading Ubuntu by default because I have WSL installed. Then you can say WSL minus minus list minus minus online. You see, you have quite a few distributions. You can choose any one. Now to install, you have to say WSL minus minus install, and then you give the name side of it. Don't use the friendly name, use the left column. So I have the Arch Linux installed here, and that should have Python. All Linux distributions comes with Python. So you see this Arch Linux. So your terminal will adapt to that on Windows, and we show you. So now we have Arch Linux. So then you will need to follow the distributions guide how to install Python. Usually on most Linux systems, Python will come pre-installed because a lot of system software use Python. If you don't have Python, for apt system, when I'm talking of apt system, if you choose Ubuntu or Debian, it will be installed, guaranteed. If you choose RPM based systems like Fedora or OpenSUSE or Alma Linux, Python will be installed. I'm not sure about Arch Linux, but suppose you choose Arch Linux, then what you can do after do this install is you can look at Python. Okay, you search for Python. Okay, and then it will tell you whether Python is installed or not. Okay, so let me scroll and show you where it tells about Python. Okay, there will be quite a bit of scrolling. Okay, let me just grep that. Okay, grep minus I Python, or rather not Python. I want to see installed. Okay, so see core Python, this package. Okay, core/Python, that should be installed. That is your interpreter, and it says installed for me. So that's how you work on WSL. Okay. If you have problem, let me know in comments, and I will try to help you how you can get it done in WSL. Now, the third option which you have is you run Linux inside a Docker. So what happens is that when you will go deeper into your development career, if you are not yet a professional, then you might not know, but Docker is what we use mostly to package our application. So suppose you want to build Docker, then what you can do is you can install Rancher Desktop. Now, why I'm not using Docker Desktop is because Docker Desktop does not allow you for commercial development. Okay, and if you're working for companies, then ideally, if you don't have license of Docker, you should use Rancher Desktop. I have already downloaded it and I will install it. I have not installed it yet. So let's see how we can go through Rancher Desktop. So it will take a bit of time because the binary is quite big. So you accept the license, okay, and okay. So before that, I will show you how to download Rancher. You search for Rancher Desktop, and you come here and you click this Windows download Windows, and then it will be downloaded. Mostly x64 is what you have. So we say install for all users if you want, otherwise just for yourself, and then next, and then install. It will ask for permission. You say yes, and then we will have Rancher Desktop installed on Windows in a bit. Okay. Then what? While it installed, we will perform another search. What we will do is Python Docker image is what we are looking for. Okay. So it will come to official hub, and what we are looking for is ideally 3.14.4 series. We don't want alpha. So we have quite a few choices here. On 3.14.3, we have Trixie, and then we have Slim Trixie, or we simply have Slim, okay, or 3.14 Slim. So ideally, for production releases, you want 3.14 Slim. Or if you want a Debian one, then you can use 3.14.3 Bookworm or 3.14 Bookworm. So let's see, it should be installed, and now we will run Rancher Desktop. Okay, so once it is installed, okay, so Kubernetes version it will ask for, and Dockerd. Okay, so we will use Dockerd, not Kubernetes, and then we run this, and there we are. So now we go to containers, and it will look for containers in your stuff. It won't find anything. Okay, so we go to images and we look for images, and it is getting still started. Okay. I don't use Rancher Desktop because mostly I work on Linux, so it is starting the WSL environment and all that. It takes a bit of time. Docker Desktop also takes time because it is the first time it is running, so it has to do all the configurations and everything. Okay, we have that running. So what we can do is we can say add image, and okay, we just say allow. Okay, name of the image to pull. So what we want is, let's say for development, so we will go for 3.14 bookworm. So we say 3.14 bookworm, and that should be Python colon. Okay, we say pull, and it should pull the image. Ideally, it should not cause any problem. Trying to pull C console. So where is the console of this guy? Diagnostics. Okay. For some reason, it is not able to pull. Let's go to containers. There are no containers running yet, so we need the image first. So let's say, let's go back here, and we want 3.14.3 bookworm. This one is what we want. Running Docker desktop. Okay, it will go to Docker desktop here. So it is Python colon, there is no space. Python colon 3.14.3 minus bookworm is the name of the image. Okay, we gave a space and we omitted the 0.3. Okay, now it is pulling, all right. So it takes a bit of time depending on your internet connection. It should not take a lot of time. So it will tell you that when it is complete, it will tell you. Now that we have the download complete, pull complete, all right. So we'll go to our what you call images. Once the pull is complete, it should show that over here. So refresh. So let's go back to containers and images. Okay, so we have the Python image here, okay, 1.5 gigs. So we select this and then we should be able to run this. Now, I don't know how to run this, okay, because as I said, I don't know. But thing is that if you run this image, I don't know. Let's look at the options. Scan. No, we don't want to scan. General container, no containers. Images we have. This we should be able to run this. It does not give any option. Okay, so what I will do is I'll figure out how to run this and maybe I'll add another video. So once you run this, you will get a Linux session inside Docker. Okay, so for the purpose of this tutorial or this video series, we don't need Docker desktop. Maybe I will cover an entire video series on Docker so you can see, but I was just showing you the way. Honestly, I don't work on Windows at all. Okay, so the two ways I showed, that's why I get stuck with those stuff. I don't know how to run Docker desktop or Rancher desktop. I just have an idea that how it works. And with Rancher desktop, ideally you should be able to run this image. Okay, you may refer to some other video on YouTube on how to run Rancher desktop. Say, let me try once more. Okay, open main window. This is what did it do? It quit. Okay. All right. So perhaps you might want to look at another video for running how to run Rancher desktop Python image. Once you run that, you will have the shell and all that. So for example, let's see if Docker command is available. If it is available, I should be able to do it. Okay. So let's see. Let's look at Docker images. Okay, Rancher desktop is not running. Rancher desktop. Let's run this. So since command is available, I'm more familiar with the command line side of it. We should be able to run this. So let's relaunch this, okay, and let's wait for it to ready. So it's doing its stuff. It's starting the WSL environment and all. All right, looks like it's ready. So we look at Docker images and it gives us our Python. Okay. So how to run an image is you say Docker run -d and just give the image name. Okay. And then it has started running. Now if you see containers, it should be running here. You see, it has exited because the reason of exit is that there is no command running. Okay, so usually the way to run a command typically hold this into pick places I think you can do tail -f/dev/null. Okay, this should work, and there you go, running. It did not exit. Okay, so what you can do is docker ps-a. All right, lots of stuff is running. So what you want to be running is this guy. So this is our container ID. So we can say docker exec minus IT, and then bin bash, and then you give the container ID. Okay, there is no bash shell, so we have the SSH shell. Okay, container ID should be first, and then you give bin bash. Error response from server, this is not running. Okay, but it is running, right? Okay, this is the one which is running. Okay, now we are inside Docker. Okay, so if you see top, that's our tail process running. And now inside Docker, you want to see to Python, then Python is there. Now you can do whatever you want to do with Docker. So I see that I'm not very good with GUI. All right. So these are the three ways you can run Python on Windows. There are many more ways also. For example, what you can do is, I'll show you two more ways. One of the ways is that you use Cygwin. Okay. Now, once you install Cygwin, Python will get installed. That is one way. The another way could be using MSys. Okay, so MSys is Cygwin-like, so you can install MSys, and this will also install Python, or you can use the package manager here. So if you go to package index and you look at Python, then a lot of Python binaries will be there. So you might want to install this package, or yeah, that should work. So install that, and Python will be installed inside MSys. So to summarize, I have shown you 5 ways how to install Python on Windows. One is from the Windows installer, then using WSL and running a Linux OS inside it. The third is using Docker, fourth is using Cygwin, and fifth is using MSys. So I'm not exactly shown how to do it with Cygwin and MSys because those are less popular and kind of esoteric way of running Python on Windows. So if you ask me what is the recommended way of all this, okay? So it depends, okay? If your system does not have RAM, I mean, if your system has 8 GB or less RAM, then use the Python installer. That is the first method, okay? The reason is if you run WSL or Rancher Desktop, as you saw, Rancher Desktop actually uses WSL. If you use Rancher Desktop or WSL, your RAM consumption will be very high. WSL is quite heavy. If you run WSL with nothing on Windows 11, I mean to say, along with Firefox running, I'll show you how much RAM it is consuming. Okay, Rancher is running, all right. So if you look at Task Manager, I'm running Windows only and nothing else. So you see, memory consumption is 12 gigs. That is quite a lot of RAM. So now that's why I don't work on Windows. Let's quit this, okay? Even if you quit this, you see RAM consumption is not decreasing by a lot. The reason is WSL is running. WSL is quite heavy. So what you need to do is you can shut down WSL, okay? Now you see when I did WSL shutdown, the RAM consumption dropped down to 9.2 gigs. That's almost more than 3 gigs of RAM saving. So if your system has less than 8 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM, go with the first method. If your system has more than 8 GB RAM and you want full-blown Linux system, then you go with the second way, that is WSL. And if you are very well versed with Docker and you want to deploy on production, your job is to create the disk image and all, then you use Rancher Desktop in the third method. So this is what I will recommend, and I'll stop this video here. I hope that you have enjoyed this video and found it useful and informative. So Thanks for watching the video, and I will see you in the third video, which I will re-record again because of the sound quality. This entire re-recording is going on because of the sound quality in the first 5 videos. So tomorrow I will record the third video of my Python playlist and upload it again. So once again, thanks a lot for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy.